not good like that?
No, it's fine. You're fine. You're fine. I think just
for me it's not.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
It's impossible to hear.
To understand, to hear.
Can you scream?
I think Ron is in five
Ron.
times louder than me.
I think that's just my personality.
No, I think I know why. Now? How about now?
A little bit.
A bit
No?
better.
But not so much.
What the hell?
What?
Oh,
Now?
nice.
Now?
Yeah.
Strange.
Oh, it's
So now it's good, right?
yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right.
As people pile in.
Hey, everybody.
Hello.
Hello.
So
Oh, what do you think? About time we start. God, it's really sucks without music.
I agree.
All right, let's just be boring old business people. All righty. Well, let's get started then, I guess. All right, so hello. Welcome, everyone. This is our 19th live weekly update. Can somebody turn off their microphone, please? Yep, thank you. All right, so we have a lot of interesting things to share with you today. As a reminder, at the end, we're going to have our usual Q&A sessions from participants, YouTube guests, and then we'll answer any questions that folks have written into us. So let's just kick things off with a quick status update on what's going on with contest voting. So, the following contests are in the process of being voted on right now. So the 5 brand communications contests, those are contests 19 through 23, contest 27 slashing conditions, contest 28 ambassadors, contest 29 brand masters, and contest 31 D-pool contract verification. First off, let me just say that I was floored by the quality of submissions. I know I've said it before, but I really went through everything like bit by bit this time, especially the 5 brand communications contests and the ambassadors and brand masters contests. I really never thought in a million years that we would have so many talented people do such amazing work. You guys really did a fantastic job. So look, those are going to be very, very hard for the jury to score. That said, I'm a little disappointed, and I think probably Meet is even more disappointed that there were literally 0 submissions for the bug bounty contest. A few people were joking that, well, I guess we have no bugs, which, you know, is probably unrealistic. I'm not really sure.
It's also untrue because we just found one 2 days ago.
See? So yeah, so there you go. That's a first. I mean, I understand from what I've been told, it's a very hard contest, but still 0, nothing. I don't know. Just a little surprising, I guess. Anyway, it is what it is.
It's not so surprising, but I can, say about that. It wasn't really very surprising for me because obviously people kind of didn't have incentive to do that in a way of like they maybe not really understanding what this DApp server will do and what role it will play. So of course it was a little bit like maybe kind of premature and out of context, but we will improve on that. And the bug bounty definitely will continue as we kind of roll out the validator now, more or less. And so there will be more opportunities.
Okay.
But
well,
maybe that I know that there are a few people who run this. Like this bug's definitely not obvious, like because we're running the same node for months already, and so these bugs are really not very easy to find. It's not that something like crashing to you in next half an hour. But so I thought maybe there are some bugs like that, maybe, but apparently they're not.
Apparently they're not. No bugs. Kidding. All right. There's also contest 25, right? Yeah, 25. So TonOS DApp server for DevOps. There's some submissions there, but the contest didn't make it into the voting batch yet. So that's going to be reset and put up for voting any day now, as I understand. So watch out for that. Moving on. Right. So there was a buzz around the chats about why there are so few votes for the contests at the moment. One thing I'll say that I know for a fact is a lot of the jurors are creating spreadsheets first. Okay. So before they vote, they make a spreadsheet because it's a lot easier to make decisions after you've had a chance to look through all the submissions at once. You have to run through them once or twice. You have to really get to know, sort of like familiarize yourself with them. It's very hard to just go in, see the first submission and go, oh, well, that's a 4, because you have nothing to compare it to. When you have 28 submissions, now you have something to compare it to. So it's not an easy process. You have to understand. Also, there was a delay in updating the smart contract. So what happened was all of a sudden, when it was redeployed, all of the old contests, or rather the ones that have been around for a while and finished earlier, got bundled with the new ones when the contract was launched. So now the jurors have to judge 9 contests in just over a week's time. That's 324 submissions. I mean, just 324. Just think about it. Let me put it in perspective. That's like, let's just take like one contest. Let's take animated stickers number 19. So that's 28 submissions. Every juror has to look carefully through each one, probably more than once, to get a real feel for what's best, what's worst, what's in between, get an overall sense, get a general picture and the range of quality. And then they have to go in and really score it honestly, and then also make constructive comments. So I can tell you right now, something like that is easily 2 to 3 full work days. Some people are giving up their weekend time, their family time, whatever. Plus, I think there are like 2 more contests that are going to be up for voting in just a little bit. So just try to imagine that. So that's part of it, of course. However, that being said, I do agree that the jury really needs to shift into high gear at this point and get rolling, because no one wants to see substandard votes. Comments like, yeah, good job, no critical feedback, that sort of thing. And now there are only a few days left to vote. For some contests, I think it's like 3 or 4 days. So yeah, let's just keep that in mind and remember that a lot of people put in a lot of work into those submissions. We have to respect that. It's unfair to them if they end up seeing just a handful of votes. I know it's hard, but that's the deal. So let's hit the gas. Let's get started right away, please. Thank you. Oh, and by the way, I just want to let the jury members know that this is the new juries. The old jury knows, but for the new jurors, just keep in mind, this is not a typical scenario. Normally, it's not like this at all. So it's going to get way easier. I think we have usually maybe 3 or 4 contests in a cycle, and that's it. So this is good practice. It's it's trial by fire.
So sure about that, because we will have more contests, I think, as we go, right?
Well, right, and we'll have more jurors as we go as well. I mean,
hopefully, of course.
Right, it's going to grow respectively. So, and then eventually, it's just going to be governance 2.0, and at that point, everybody is, it'll be a lot easier. But yes, I mean, this is atypical. At least it's a first. This many contests at one time, this many submissions. We haven't seen something like this before. So I just want to make sure everybody understands it does get easier. It'll seem like child's play in a little bit. Okay. But you have to get through this one. Like I said, trial by fire, man. So there you go. All right. That's it for governance 1.2. Let's move to governance 1.3. Like I've talked about on these podcasts for the last couple of weeks, there are a bunch of community groups that formed and continue to form. The next layer, the next strata in the stratified governance structure. I won't list them all, but I do want to mention Wiki again, and also a new group that just formed called Ambassadors. We also have a DeFi group, but I think I'll wait a little bit to talk about that next time. So in a minute, I'll let Michael Shopkin from the group give you some more details. But what I did want to say is that the Wiki group has a contest up right now, and that's taking proposals. It's the Free Ton Wiki contest. It's called, it's contest number 34, okay? And basically it's to build a wiki website for Free Ton.
Ron, before we move to Wiki, can I say something about governance? Because I didn't like it. It's a short announcement. The governance 2.0 link will be posted under this video when we finish, and you can start playing with this. It's alpha. It's not. It's like very early stage, but I think it's important to starting to get feedback, and for developers to work with real users. So the link will be there. You can start playing with that. Of course, don't give there that your like real seed phrase. Just create one to play, and it's unstable. It can crash. It can do certain things. There is even not HTTPS, but these are like minor things. The most important is that you can start playing with that and report. We will create a channel for that also. And it will be put into the announcement, which probably we'll do tomorrow morning about all the channels. And because we need to create, like the guys need to create channels and stuff. So yeah, that's it.
Okay, thanks. But just real quick, so moving back, the Wiki contest is taking submissions and there are 3 days left. So I want to just direct anyone's attention to make a submission within the next 3 days, please. Before I give it to Michael. So we also have an Ambassadors Governance 1.3 group that created a proposal, and they're also preparing contest proposals. So this is an important announcement for everyone who participated in the Ambassadors Stage 1 contest and in the Brand Masters contest. So essentially, Stage 2 of the Ambassadors contest will merge with the Brand Masters contest, and it'll be proposed by the new Ambassadors group. So what they're doing is they're taking two parts of what should have really been one whole and putting program suggestions, or rather they're putting together just basically a giant super group with a super contest to launch it. So all the KPIs, all the program suggestions that were made in the Ambassadors and Brand Masters contest will be combined for the next round of contests for both, and both will be developed by the Ambassadors Governance 1.3 group. So basically, they're taking it to the next level, much more actually than I could have anticipated. Really a smart move. It's basically 10 times bigger than I thought it would be. It's really a good example of what you can do to evolve contests. So you propose something, you see where it goes, you analyze the results, and then you kick it up 10 notches, and then make the next phase just something extraordinary. So personally, I think it's very impressive. Anyway, I'll shut up and I'll let them tell you more. So Michael, if you're here, you're on.
Yes, thank you, Ron. We just finished our work on Wiki sub-governance, and we ran first ever contest in sub-governance of Freeton. So in some days we will make AMA session how to participate in this contest, and we will teach and help one of the authors to add submission for this first contest, and we will teach and help to participate, and we will show all authors and editors how to be involved in the process and participate. This is number one. And as Ron told, now our team is working on ambassadors sub-governance, and we're analyzing all ambassadors submissions, all brand master submissions. This is quite big work, and preparing documents for sub-governance. And as Ron told, Ambassador Stage 2 will be included in Ambassador sub-governance. And today, our team will make small announcement according to initial members of Ambassador sub-governance. So if any person are really active and want to participate, and we will prepare a small announcement with Google Forms link, so you can go and fill in this form to have like to introduce yourself to the team, and later we can discuss your participation in Ambassador sub-governance, preparing everything. So like that's it.
Great.
Short, yeah.
Excellent. Yeah. The team, they're doing fantastic work. Michael, Dmitry, Daria, the whole gang, really great work. You mentioned AMA session, just for anybody who's not, it's AMA, right? So Ask Me
Yes.
Anything session, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you guys. Really.
Thank you. Thank you very much, all people
Yeah, we're
who
looking,
helping us to do this. It's thank you.
yeah, we're looking forward to seeing great things come out of that group.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, that about does it for me. I know Mita wanted to talk a little bit about front-end infrastructure relating to staking, something like that.
What did I want to talk about?
Front-end infrastructure as it relates to staking. Remember?
Oh, the kind of the unintentional experiment.
Something like that.
Uh-huh.
Your camera's off
Yeah,
though.
I can do that. Yeah.
Go ahead.
So as usual, we kind of detected a problem with the sending messages to the network on the mainnet and our infrastructure, and that was detected on Sunday. And well, we obviously kind of start to look at this, and we realize that nobody can put a stake using our infrastructure. And then what happened was, like, it was morning, and the elections kind of coming to the end, and it was like time, and we didn't restart the infrastructure as of just the end of elections. It was a little bit like something that we run on the game, on the Magister Ludi game. So it wasn't intentional, right? It was accident, but it was like very short time before the end of elections, and we kind of say, okay, so we won't hurry that much. And then after 15 minutes after the election kind of ended, then obviously we kind of restarted by that time, and 13 validators then joined, obviously, and started to validate for the next cycle. So we had 13 validators. That's what happened. What wasn't, what was strange to me is that nobody pinged us. Like, nobody realized that the stake, it was three stakes that went in, 3 stakes that was successfully posted. But nobody pinged us. Nobody alarmed anyone that that was, that we had a problem with the staking, like to send the stake, basically. And that this thing kind of worries me a little bit, and I think we need to have a discussion about that. Maybe not now, maybe in another forum, but this is something that is not correct. I kind of understand that people are relying on our infrastructure, but that is a kind of a centralization in a way, at least not it's not a it's not a centralization of the network, but it's a central point of failure, and that's not the correct way to have people, like to have validator accessing the system. So DApp server that were rolled out, by the way, is one of the perfect ways to run your own infrastructure for kind of having your own interface working with TonoS CLI to make your stakes. You don't need to use Light Client. You can use, all these scripts and tools that were built on top of that, and all of it you can do on your own infrastructure. There's nothing prevents you to do so. And taking into account that we kind of rolled this out and also had a contests about that, I think just makes it pretty easy to do. So I think that's something we need to kind of think about and talk about more. I'm more than sure that if we would have, of course, all the validators, like 300 validators running, and Magister Ludi validators knows, and that these things, they kind of already kind of trained to avoid these problems. So obviously we wouldn't have that, but still it's not healthy, I think. And I think that it needs to be at least analyzed, okay, internally for the infrastructure. And also just even forget about the whatever infrastructure we run, someone else run. That's one point. Another point is, where is all the alarming and monitoring of you guys? We understand it's Sunday, but that's what alarming and DevOps is for, right? That's didn't happen. And we're talking about top validators. I think that deserves some, it's just raising some point. I think you need to raise with your DevOps also. And talk about that internally, because something is not correct here. And you also lost a lot of money. Didn't validate for the cycle, which currently brings nice revenue. So you lost a lot of tokens. I think that's something, you need to think about internally. And I'm just raising this topic. Again, it wasn't intentional. We didn't plan for that, for sure. We simply don't have power right now to think about these things like that. But since it's already happened, let's take all the good lessons we can learn from that, and maybe you need to change something in your internal kind of processes. That's what I want to say.
Thanks, Mitya. All right. Does anybody else have anything they'd like to talk about, present? Because we actually, I planned for this to be about 45 minutes, and we just got through it like real fast, which is a good thing. That's a good thing. At the same time, it seems like there's got to be something else that somebody wants to discuss. So let's move to the discussion group. Who has questions? There we go, Ivan. Always. Here we go. We can always count on you.
I just had a little question to Mitya about this issue. That as I know, initial validators don't have deep pools, and new validators will have deep pools. And deep pools are like work with timer, and timer is pinging deep pool to make stakes. So deep pool don't need any front end. So maybe
it still needs to receive a message from a validator, right? So the validator still needs to send a message to deep pool that he is going to validate next cycle, correct?
So the signature, you mean the signature?
Yes.
Yes, of course.
Yes. Somehow you need to transfer this message. So you will still need some infrastructure to do that.
Well, yes, okay.
Depool, of course, Depool abstracts a lot of logic, and basically it's a decentralized script to run a validator. So yeah, definitely it makes things much easier and more secure. But still, you have to validate for the Depool, otherwise the Depool will gonna be slashed.
Okay, and the second is that I don't think that like creating my own infrastructure with Q server and this the app server is a good solution, because like a cost to run the app server, as I heard, is about
totally
like
with you.
is about like to run a node.
It's right, like to run. It's a node. It's exactly a node, and it's totally with you. And that's why I said, okay, fine. So you don't run. You rely on our infrastructure, for example, or someone else's. That's fine. But but you still need to have monitoring, like alerting, at least that, right? You still need to understand that. Wait a minute, you have a problem, right? At least that, correct? That's something you definitely expect to have.
Well, the solution, as I see, is using Light server to sign all the messages. Is the first.
No, that's not a solution, because something else. It can be a solution to send a message, but it is not a solution that to replace your alerting monitoring infrastructure.
Yeah,
because like what you think that in Light server nothing can go wrong? Yeah, let me surprise you. I mean, you probably have more chances to get Light server wrong than our infrastructure, for the sake of an argument. But that's not the point. The point is every infrastructure can get stopped or wrong, whatever.
Yeah, that's definitely an issue, that that there is no monitoring and alerting in current infrastructure of initial validators. And like for me, it means that maybe they like used to used to the situation that everything is okay for 4 months, like, and just like receive the revenue. But
I don't know. Again, I don't want to speculate, and we have like guys on the call, and I really don't want to speculate on that. I wanted just to say that it concerns me. And that's not the point on speculating or saying or kind of trying to analyze now between us why something happened. That's not the point. The point is that every validator, doesn't matter if initial validator or next validator or whoever validator, needs to have an alerting monitoring infrastructure to kind of monitor the transactions and the stakes, and particularly in the pool situation, because in the pool there are also other people money, and if you're not like, okay, so when I said slash, okay, if you don't sign a message, your DPool will not send anything, and you're not participating, right? You're not participating, you're not slashed. Well, that's wrong statement, because you just slashed yourself out of revenue.
Yeah.
Right. And revenue is money, and it's definitely you can view it as a slashing. And your customers, like people who put money in your DPool, will definitely think that they've been, slashed.
Okay, well, I have no questions anymore.
Okay, thank you, Ivan. Who else in the discussion group right now of the participants on the call, who has another question? Please speak up. None. All right, I'll take that. Let's then move to YouTube questions.
Let me take a very short one.
Sure.
There's also a sub-governance coming from the Korean group, which is extremely active. And I guess it's coming like today or tomorrow, very shortly. And I just want to encourage, I see some other community leaders on the call from the other countries. I just encourage them to take a look at the Korean experience and, let's blast it. Let's take it to the other parts of the world.
Yeah, that's a very good point. I mentioned it on last week's update, and I'll just back what Alex just said, is that Korea is forming not just a chat group on Telegram. We're actually doing a governance 1.3 group, which is awesome. And I think it'll be a great example for other country leaders to do the exact same thing. Well, let me correct myself, to to build on top of it and do something great for their own communities. I think that's fantastic, which actually flows right into a question that we have coming from YouTube from Z Tahari. Hello. I'm going to just shorten his question. Basically, he's saying, why not continue to rerun the decentralized support contests, but with less rewards on a continuing basis? My personal feeling on that, and I can't speak for anyone else, is that I don't see the point of rerunning anything more than once. There are certain types of contests that could be done for a long period of time, as long as there is a continuing evolution. The same thing over and over again is just basically, I don't see where the productivity would come in. What I do see is I see you or anybody who has the same question as you to actually join the governance 1.3 group and ambassadors, because that's taking it to a new level. Just monitoring chat groups and monitoring your own community groups. I mean, okay, that was great in governance 1.0. We're moving to 1.3 now. It's, you know, that's just part of what you have to do. Continually providing rewards for doing what is a minimal requirement in order to even have a group, I think is counterproductive. That's my personal point of view. Anybody is welcome to challenge it, but that's, you know, that's what I think, right? We have a question from Renat, although he says message retracted. He says, we cover all DPool staff with monitoring and alerting, but I guess we were on the list from 3 validators who were able to send stakes. Mita, does that make sense?
What? Again?
I would say no. He says, we have covered all the DPool staff with monitoring and alerting, but I guess we were on the list from 3 validators which were able to send stakes.
It has nothing to do with deep pools. It's on the mainnet. It didn't happen on the game. So I'm not sure what you're referring to. But yeah, I mean, there are lots of scripts now in the community. There are lots of great scripts on all kinds of sorts of solutions for almost everything, and you know, that's a great work, and we'll obviously continue to do so, like continue to run contests for improving the infrastructure going forward as well. Once the Rust validator is there, and which is really kind of on the horizon now, we just want to find the right time to run a contest on for the Rust validator. In the mix of all this that's coming, like the DPool contest and obviously the like decentralization of the network next stage. So kind of need to find time for that, but there will be like a lot of tools, even more contests on the DevOps tools. So yeah, you have solutions, you have myriads of solutions to run your monitoring, alerting, whatever you want around that.
Thank you. Okay. Question from Dan Lutz says, I built a stable coin on, I assume he meant to write ton, on the ton blockchain. I intend to place my coin on many blockchains. How long will it be before ton is able to have smart contracts and be stable to host coins? This is a great question, and we've been talking a lot about this. Maybe Pavel, maybe you want to take that? Pavel, Pasha, are you here? Mita?
I can, yeah, sure. I can say, no, I can say about tokens. I mean, you have tokens, and I just, I've been invited to the DeFi groups. Thank you very much for the honor. I think this is like really important activity. I like that very much. And the 2 things that we have contributed from Ton Labs to these activities are, first, there are 3 types of tokens. One is released publicly, called Ton Cash, I think it's all called. It's a distributed, like TIP3 distributed token, and it's C++ smart contracts, which are ready to go. They are like, we can create a contest around them, and we should do that, I think. And so you have a I think much it's like, it's a genius design, guys. I mean, seriously, this is really cool stuff, this distributed token. And so you have this fungible, non-fungible, and UTXO. So you have 3 tokens. I think Ethereum doesn't have that. I don't know if the Ethereum has a UTXO design of smart contract. Not sure. So you can use that, and then also Depool has transfer, which can be used and should be used as a collateral for DeFi applications. So like this is the basis, I think, for a future DeFi growth in that. So you have all that. You have these, and you can do that. You can start. You can take it's in TonLabs repository, open source, Apache 2 license. Go there, use the tokens, build applications with that.
Yeah.
Participate in DeFi sub-governance group. And I think Sergey can talk about DeFi sub-governance groups. Sergey, do you want to do that?
The tip cert is implemented already because we see the
Yeah.
interface on the forum.
Just go to
Okay.
TonLabs repository, Ton contracts, I think it's called, repository, and go to CPP, not Solidity, CPP. It's written in C++. You go there, you see there fungible, I think, token released, and unfungible. It's already done. And Andrew is in vacation this week, so next week he's coming 13 back, and I will ask him to release both UTXO implementation and the non-fungible token implementation of distributed tip3 design. It's all done. It's all ready. Serge, we can't hear you. Kind of noise and nothing from you. No, can't hear you. Something wrong with your mic.
Yeah, there's something wrong with your mic.
That's not a drill.
That's not a drill.
No, there's just some noise going on and something wrong with the sound.
Yeah,
interface.
something this microphone.
Yeah, interface. I think a microphone driver.
Dan Lutz, by the way, the guy who asked the question just now, he writes, "I did mean TRX, the ETH, the Ethereum clone."
The Ethereum clone of what?
Yeah, in other words, he placed a coin on. He built a stable coin for TRX.
Well, stablecoin, you can design one, right? And that's DeFi group also, I think, should be engaged with designing some stablecoins, and we should definitely run a contest on designing stablecoins, I think. So yeah, I hope DeFi group will do that, because obviously stablecoin, one of the first things that you need to have in order to enable DeFi. Hopefully don't need to explain why. So yeah. Atomic swaps, by the way, this is a contest going on. I think it can be used.
Yes.
For kind of stable coins, which are kind of, you can take UTXO, atomic swap, and then, USDT, atomic swap, for example, and here you go, you have some kind of, stable coin.
Yeah, I just wanted to add too regarding tip 3. So ton improvement proposals. A little bit of shameless promotion. So Ton Labs is actually in contact with a lot of different companies right now who really are looking at this as a way to integrate. So it's, yeah, there's a way to do this, and it's a great way to do it. Sergey, any luck with your mic? A little DeFi action would be great.
No.
No. All right. Well, just let us know when it's all fixed. No, it's no. It's doing a chatter. All we hear is chatter.
Maybe you should restart.
Yeah. We'll come back. Yeah. We definitely, believe me, I'm sure there's a lot of people want to hear a little bit about DeFi. So maybe play with your yeah, there you go. All right. Oops, I'm muted. Let's see. Okay, have a question coming from V. Yesterday, there was some discussion in the validator group about the dramatic reduction of validators from 42 to 13.
I just covered that.
Okay. All right. You get it. All right. Sorry. Repetitive question. So guys, continue to upload YouTube questions, but right now there are no more. There are 3 questions that were written into us. So one comes from Matt Vey. He says, a winning strategy for current validator contests is to place servers in close proximity to each other. As a result, more than 33% of all nodes are situated in 2 hosting providers. This has advantages, meaning faster in node connections, and disadvantages, which is dependency on these specific providers. What do you think about doing this in the context of what do you think about this in the context of a main net? In a main, how do you think this will work in a main network?
You asking me?
Yeah.
Sorry, could you repeat that? Because I was chatting, like someone is writing me from validators actually with a question why they didn't receive KYC or whatever KYV, sorry, question.
That announcement just went out, by the way. So
okay, so I don't know. So they should, because they
Yeah.
kind of.
There was an amendment to the KYV announcement and went to all the validators. Please have a look at it. It's self-explanatory. All right, so let me repeat the question. He says, a winning strategy for current validator contests is to place servers in close proximity to one another. As a result, more than 33% of all the nodes are situated in 2 hosting providers. This has advantages like faster inter-node connection, and disadvantages like a dependency on these specific providers. So what do you think about this in the context of the main network?
None, meaning it's just a contest. So these are like there is a problem in as I said many times, there is a trade-off, right, between if you want the fastest way, the most throughput you can get is when you put everything on one server or having several servers in one proximity, like in one data center and stuff like that. So obviously, like the network will feel much better technically if we all be in one place, right? Unfortunately, I don't know of a way to stimulate decentralization technically. Like, of course, we can put a metric, something like if you have too short of a ping, I don't know, we will slash you. But like the network will slash you. But this is like probably not gonna work. So I think that this is coming down to, and again, there is a difference between winning the contest, because in winning the contest, we're trying to optimize for like working. The purpose of this contest with DPool, right, is familiarize with the DPool infrastructure to get everything done, to get, running smoothly. It's not so much about like performance of your validators, but it's also for some slashing, tuning that obviously we'll need to see and we need to do, and we need to get familiarized yourself with that. If you losing half the cycle of the validator, and you will be penalized, right? It's not about optimizing, because we will also like this metrics that we have now, the contest metrics that we have now, we're upgrading them up, all the time, like every week or something, and we will continue doing so. It's just the question of that we need some kind of distribution. There are like better validators, and so we can distribute prices. So the community can distribute prizes, but it's not really for trying to kind of squeeze everything from the performance wise and test the performance. That was before. That was the contest before. This is not about that. So on the mainnet, the incentive to not be in one data center is that you gain nothing by being in one data center, because you're not going to be slashed by by having a 300 or 200 milliseconds kind of ping time to the rest of the network, for example. But you probably need to think more strategically about your tokens invested in this network. If the network is becoming centralized, then someone can just shut it down. And if the data center, one data center will be shut down and the network will stall, you will lose the money. So the incentive for the validators to be in different locations, different data centers, it's not coming from like not being slashed kind of logic, but from let's make network more stabilized because I have money in it, right? So I think the incentive, so the incentive in the game right now and the incentive in the main network are different. And we didn't want to, we couldn't, you can't align both like in this contest. So it wasn't the goal. It's not, it's fine. I mean, I personally don't think too much about that. I mean, into that, let's say. So fine. If you think you can win like by placing everything in one data center, well, that's fine, and let's hope that this game continues because this data center also, you know, can run out of electricity for some time, whatever. And this shit happens actually, even to Amazon and other infrastructures. So you know, it's up to you. But I don't think it will transfer to main network because it's a completely different logic, as I said.
Okay. Next question is, I believe.
Ron, sorry. Hello, it's me. I'm sorry. I just joined because Sergey asked me to tell a bit more about DeFi.
Go for it.
Because he has some issues with his microphone. So just to say where we are and what we are doing. So right now we are forming a proposal for DeFi subgovernance, and we believe strongly in this topic because it is the frontier of the blockchain now, and all the major financial technologies that are being built now, and so all key projects are now focused on that thing. And we believe that if Freeton misses this opportunity with its performance and whatever, so we will miss the chance to get the leading place in the market. And so we have created already a group and made it public. So everyone who is interested in the topic can join and participate in discussions. Right now we have formed the proposal, and I hope we will publish it today on the forum, and everyone is welcome to comment and propose. And we will start from the forming of the initial sub-governance and running the first contests for the basic ecosystem. So meaning that we need bridges to other blockchains, we need some Uniswaps, we need some ropers, and everyone who feels qualified enough will be able to participate. We also monitor closely the cases of Solana and Polkadot, who are rocketing now, and we want to be really competitive in this sphere as well. So, and we invited the major experts on DeFi to the discussion, and they are already included in the sub-governance proposal as well. So if anyone here in the community also is expert in this topic or in any DeFi technology, like, I don't know, insurance or lending or farming or whatever. So please, guys, join the group and join the discussion. And the first objective for us will be also to form the jury. And we welcome all the experts to join the jury for the contests.
Yeah.
So that's just to make the long story short, what we are doing now.
Yeah. That's so it's called, the group is called Freeton DeFi.
Right.
So yeah, Freeton DeFi, and maybe we can start sort of putting some of these governance 1.3 groups on the site. I think that might be a good idea, right?
Yes, sure.
I think that's probably a good idea, which actually answers one of the questions on YouTube that comes from T. Zahari again. He says, can we have a section on the forum or webpage for Freeton tokenomics And then he says, well, first total supply. So total supply, that's just go to freeton.org. It's 5 billion plus like a little bit of change. That's already, that's answered. Circulating supply, current price, current market cap, that sort of thing. Understand, we're trying to really hold the exchanges off from listing free ton until full decentralization. We're in the process of bringing all the new validators on. After that, yeah, yes to everything. But let's just pump the brakes just a little bit on that, right? Everything's trading OTC right now, and that's it. And that's a good thing, as you know, as you understand. That's actually a good position before tokenomics and everything else. But join the group. If you have experience, go. It's free. Again, it's free ton DeFi, and it's a Telegram group. So if you have some knowledge, you have some ideas, I think Vladislav and Sergey would be happy to have you join. And I think there's a bunch of people.
Not only Vladislav and Sergey, but also others who have already participated in the discussion. Yes,
that's right. It's a bunch of people. I'll actually tell you how many. It's growing really fast. There are 33 members right now, and this thing started when? Last week? This week?
Yeah. I think less than a week. I think it started on last Friday or Thursday.
Mm-hmm. So yeah. So maybe we'll I'll even create a link here real quick. How about that? So everybody can see.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, sure.
Drop it into the jury chat. Or jury chat. What am I talking about? Too many long nights and days. So yeah, there it is for you. Okay. Next question, Dan Lutz again. What is the status of how Ton will integrate with Telegram for conducting point of sale transactions? Look, again, we have nothing to do with Telegram. Okay. We have our own Ton Surf, which is a messenger browser / wallet. What Telegram does is up to Telegram. Would we like Telegram to come and say we'd like to integrate? We'd like to be. Of course we would. We'd like WhatsApp to do it. We'd like Viber to do it. We'd like WeChat to do it. We'd like everybody to do it, don't we? We all do. But that's
Ron. I think that maybe the question is about kind of seeing more integration with channels in Telegram or stuff like that. But you can do it there are bots that I think people created already, and you can create yours and integrate via bots into Telegram. Why not?
There's one that tops up mobile phone minutes right now.
Yeah, so it's already been integrated several times.
Okay, so I hope that answers your question, Dan. Another question for me. I believe the time for the atomic swap contest should be increased. 15 days is less for people who never worked on time hashed mechanism. Right. So I made a note. So first of all, the contest had a warm-up period between August 28th and August 30th. And the contest runs through the 20th. So you have 11 days. So technically speaking, you actually had 2 days or something like that. I mean, maybe you didn't notice it a little earlier, but at this point, it's an active contest. So going back and just bear down and get it done. What can I say? He also asks, what can be done to save people from Chinese ton scam? Yeah, because they've listed their token. Listen, I can't really speak to that on a live channel. All I will say is this. It is being worked on, and they have a few surprises coming. Next, he says, these platforms, so also many people will do so and get confused with free ton. Yeah, I understand, but okay, right, sure, absolutely. So the ton scam, there's several of them. There's at least 5, I think, or 6. Look, this was expected, right? I mean, this was going to happen. Anybody who does their homework and their research will figure out very, very quickly what they are. Those who don't, it's kind of the old adage, there's a sucker born every minute. And if people don't do their homework and they don't pay attention to where they're putting their money, then, a fool and his money soon part. Right, that's the saying. So, but I agree, and we're doing a lot. We actually Sergey, who wasn't able to join us, we co-wrote a Russian and English article that went out, and you can find it in the chats. So maybe take the time and spread the word about it. I think information is salvation. So let people know what the scam is. Blast it out. Use your social media. I mean, we're doing what we can. Do what you can. So thank you. All right, we have what I see as just 2 more questions that were written into us. Hello, I believe that I have found a bug for the following. You can deliberately drive bets into a competitor's depot, bringing him under cutoffs and describing his D-pool in the eyes of users. I believe that it is necessary to provide an opportunity to indicate the size of the maximum bet per cycle to the validator. Mitya?
Sorry, you lost me again.
I knew it. So he says, a gentleman writes, or the person writes, hello, I believe that I have found a bug of the following nature. You can deliberately drive staking, I think bets, he says staking, I think, into a competitor's depot.
Yeah.
I saw this question in the chat, so
Yes.
so maybe repeat the question for the audience and then answer it.
Yeah, repeat it. So yeah, so you can stake, and then you can stake like a lot into someone's depool, and the depool will be cut, and so like people will not be able to participate in staking. Well, and you won't be participating in staking as well. I mean, that's economically just doesn't make any sense. The pool, like everyone knows, you can know how much tokens are in the pool. So definitely there is a way to kind of for people to see, but also there is what association is designed for, and the depool association is something that will take care of that problem. But personally, I don't see that as a big issue, because you can also send money to someone's wallet and just by burning gas, burn his his wallet money. It will cost you a lot of your own money, so you will lose like much more. And again, this is economically just doesn't make any sense. It's not a rational behavior. And if we talk about irrational behaviors, then we're getting out of the whole zone of game theory, which makes all the proof of stake, doubtful idea in the first place. So we still think that on the long run, people are rationally, behaving rationally, economically, and therefore it works, right? And the depools are the same. You don't want to lose your own money to make someone else's lose money. This doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah, I just want to mention while we just advertised the DeFi group online, like 4 people just joined right away, including Nimrod from Simplex. Hey, how are you? Everybody just joined. So I did the same thing for the ambassadors subgov group, governance 1.3 group. So if you're watching that, also please join that group. So thank you. All right, one final question. Let's go. And the question is, when is Surf going to be released? Evgeny isn't here.
Soon.
Got it soon. All right.
Oh, well, I think, yes. Sorry, Sash. Do you?
Yeah, just I mean it's common sense. I mean it's going to be released together with the mainnet because the two go together. It doesn't really make a lot of sense to release it before. So it's just natural, right? So since validators are being KYV'd now, and soon will be added to the network, we're talking like end of September. So not long to wait.
There you go. Okay. Any more questions? Speak now or forever hold your peace until Tuesday. Folks, we made it in 1 hour again. We're getting better. All right. Thank you. Thank you,
Pasha
everybody.
just joined us.
No, I was here all the time. Sorry.
Oh, look at him all dressed up.
And your background is getting worse every day.
Sure.
All right, guys, gals, everyone, thank you for joining us. We will see you again next week. Have a wonderful day, wonderful week. Bye-bye.
So, bye.
Thank you guys. Bye bye.
Bye, guys.